Yo, what is going on, guys? We are back today for another video, and we have some very important changes coming to Battlegrounds that we're going to be discussing today. Now, why is this so important? For a couple of reasons. The biggest reason is because, so right now we're right at the end of Season 8. We're going to be talking about changes for Season 9, and then what really matters to me is Season 10. The top 8 summoners for Season 10 qualify for the first ever in-person Battlegrounds tournament, the Battleground Brawl, taking place in Vancouver in October, which is right now my ultimate goal, to qualify for that tournament. So I've been putting in a lot more time back into Battlegrounds, and it's crazy because like lately I've been feeling like I've a lot worse at Battlegrounds. And I think it's really just because I haven't been practicing. I took like a complete week off as well in the third meta. But for this fourth and final meta, man, I have just been grinding, playing a ton. Went on some losing streaks, went on some win streaks. But the point is, I just kept playing. And that's what's important. Been playing a lot. And that's been really, really good practice for me, which is fantastic. And it finally feels like I've kind of got my rhythm back. So that feels great. But now with these changes, this is going to really impact the way Battlegrounds works. So let's go ahead and jump into these changes, and then we'll take a look at the end of the video where I'm probably going to be ending off this season. So, okay. Battlegrounds Season 9, boosting rewards, scoring adjustment, and season meta. So, overview. For Season 9, we're supercharging rewards in the events for this season, as well as opening up Season 9 to conquer level summoners. These changes are going to be exclusive to Season 9, so get them while you can. Now, we already kind of went over this if you guys saw the War update video. Basically, the too long didn't watch, is Alliance War is going to be going on cooldown for over a month. Like, Alliance War won't be back for another month, like 5 weeks or something like that. So, to kind of circumvent the reward loss from no Alliance War, that's why Season 9 of Battlegrounds is supercharged, as they say, for rewards. So, along with these exciting reward changes, we'll also be moving the Gladiator circuit down to 2 metas rather than 4. Dude, that is a massive change. Each spanning over 2 weeks. This is a change we are exploring carrying forward into future seasons. Again, that's why this is so important, because this could be the way Season 10 works. The final changes will be a tweak to the maximum points that will grant that time will grant summoners. So not only is the way the Gladiator circuit functioning changes from 4 metas down to 2, cut in half, they're also changing the way scoring works, which we haven't seen any adjustments to scoring in many seasons. So that's a very big change. And so Season 9, it starts June 28th, so we got 8 days from now, and it ends July 26th, right around when Alliance War starts back up. So points change. We've noticed a large trend of time being the defining factor in top tier games, and as a result, defenders that extend the fight being consistently picked. That's very true, especially for the current meta, which is a quote-unquote nuke meta, where it's basically just a node that buffs can lower defensive ability accuracy, and buffs last longer. So there's not too much going on here, which makes fights in this meta extremely fast. And also, this meta is very draft dependent. If you get, quote-unquote, outdrafted by your opponent, there's a very high chance you're going to lose if they're at a similar skill level to you. So, and kind of like the strategy in a meta like this is I'm picking, Hercules, Nick Fury, champions that are really going to stall the fight out. If I don't have, like, a really great defender that they don't have a counter for, because typically my opponents always have counters for most of my defenders. Also, Nimrod was a really great option in this meta because he just really stalls fights out, and if he can get off his unstoppable buff, it's 40% longer, so just fights really take a long time. So this change is to kind of circumvent that. So this is a massive change. We don't want to shift things too much, but still want time to be a source of points, but the main focus to be on winning the fight in the best possible condition, meaning retaining your health. So max fight duration points is now changing from 15,000 to 10,000. So I think right now the absolute maximum possible amount of points is 60,000, but I mean that would be like a 0-second fight. So obviously, you don't ever see that. I think the most points like I've ever gotten is like 58,000. So now the total's being dropped by 5,000. So the max amount of possible points now is 55,000. So this is a massive, absolutely massive change. Going to be very interesting to see how this works next season. This is very, very big. It's really going to put a lot more emphasis on finishing fights with more health and champions that make that easier. For example, Kingpin. Kingpin always has debuffs on him, so he's constantly healing throughout the fight. So it's very easy to finish fights with that full yellow bar. Same with like Gallon. He has his regen. So champions that have access to regen or some kind of built-in willpower healing, like, I don't know, Spot and his special one could heal himself if he wanted to. Champions like that are going to be even better now because retaining your health is more important. So very, very big change there. Two very big changes. This one's going to be, applying to everyone, and then the other one is a big change for the Gladiator circuit. And so as previously discussed, we will be boosting the rewards for solo and alliance events for season 9 only. So we already know what this is, but we'll still go over in case you guys missed that last video. So for the solo event, this is also why I've started to save some elder marks here. Let's see what I'm at right now. I'm at 2,100 elder marks, and for like the last 10 to 20 matches that I've done, I've just been using energy because I want to save these elder marks for next season with the with these reward increase. So it's just everything's the same up until milestone 15, just whatever it is right now. Then we get a new milestone, so milestone 16, and that's granting 10,000 6-star shards with an additional 25,000 points needed. Then another additional milestone, 17th milestone, with again 25,000 additional points needed. This will grant a 6-star Nexus crystal. And then another milestone, another 25,000 points, 15,000 6-star shards, and then another 25,000 points for 400,000 for a 19th milestone. We're getting 1,500 7-star shards, which is nice. That's a healthy chunk. And then one 6-star class Nexus crystal. And just to put that into perspective, this is 400,000 points. I'm currently sitting at, I think, over 600,000 points. Yeah, I'm at 663,000 points. And this is playing quite a bit of Battlegrounds for a season, but taking one full break throughout one meta. So 1 week off. No Battlegrounds at all. So this is like, it's all right. It's nice additional stuff. Definitely look forward to those shards. If your account is still up and coming and you're still really focused on acquiring some specific 6-stars, it's going to be great for you, especially the class Nexus. But then we move on to the Alliance, man. Now this is where things start to get juicier. So they start adding in some goodies pretty early on. So at around milestone 7, they're introducing some additional tier 1 alpha cats, then some tier 4 basic, then some tier 4 class catalysts, then some tier 2 alpha, some tier 5 basic, some tier 5 class catalyst selectors. And then once we get to milestone 13, that's when things get really juicy. So we're seeing the introduction of tier 3 alpha catalyst and tier 6 basic catalyst, 2 of each. Then we're seeing some tier 6 class catalyst fragments, some even more fragments. And then the really great thing here is there's 2 additional milestones added. Now why this is a big deal is because they're sticking with the same reward thing of trophy tokens. Now right now the final milestone for this event has always been 6,000 trophy tokens, which is a nice healthy chunk, right? Now with these 2 new milestones, there's an additional 15,000 trophy tokens. That's a lot, man. That's really, really great to see. Also a little bit more elder marks, and even more tier 6 class catalysts, even some selectors for that final milestone. But that's the supercharged rewards. I wouldn't really call that supercharged. I'd call that charged. But to each their own. Increased rewards is always nice. We got to take that. And then now we get into the metas. So remember, there's only going to be 2 metas for the Gladiator circuit, and the first one is connected with the victory track. So really only one true unique meta for the Gladiator circuit, and that'll be starting week 3 for the final 2 weeks. So for the victory track, we have buff toggle unstoppable, return policy, and dauntless. So Dauntless is just your striker starts with 50% of the power needed, which I really like. I love seeing that. It looks like it's 50% through and through, which is actually the feedback I gave. It's interesting. Kabam John was asking, like, how do you guys feel about starting with a striker? I'm like, I like starting with a striker, but I feel like the sweet spot is just 50%, halfway there. But I do also like starting with it, but I do think 50% is kind of that sweet spot. So for the victory track, this buff toggle, this node's going to be kind of annoying. So every 9 seconds, the defender is going to gain an unstoppable buff for 3 seconds. And the return policy, whenever any of the defender's buffs are nullified, they gain 60% of a bar of power, and armor break debuffs nullify armor up buffs. So Valkyrie is going to be an absolute MVP for this meta. She can just, shut off every fight and play as normally. So she's going to be great for sure. Absorbing Man is going to be absolutely fantastic as well. He's going to be another MVP for sure. He's just going to make the duration of that unstoppable like less than a second. So, and it'll also give a Mystic Dispersion power gain. So be on the lookout for those 2 champs. Just off the top of my head, those are going to be some MVPs. And then so the Gladiator Circuit meta is I guess it's a little bit different. So the buff toggle unstoppable is tier 3 instead of tier 2. So it's every 8 seconds instead of 9 seconds, and it lasts for 4 seconds instead of 3 seconds. So still Valkyrie and Absorber are still going to be MVPs here, of course. The return policy is the same amount. Then the other node is Slap Me Not. So whenever the defender is immune to or inflicted with a Nullify, Stagger, or Fate Seal, they become stun immune for 10 seconds. Okay. I think, is that a call out to Dr. Doom? Can't get slapped. So that's going to be for the first 2 weeks in the circuit with these changes. And then the final meta, this will be week 3 meta and the final meta for season 9. This is going to be a very big deal. We have Sharpened Claws. So slash through blocks, inflict 5 stacks of bleed. Each bleed does 10% of attack over 3 seconds. 3-second delay before applying more stacks of bleed. So this node is interesting. These bleeds really don't do much damage, but paired with Inequity and Despair, they can be very annoying. Might be a good idea to be running Coagulate and the other bleed lowering node for this meta, and definitely Deep Wounds as well. And then we have Reinvigorate Unblockable 1. So every time a regeneration buff or passive is activated, if the defender is not heal blocked, they gain a dormant Vigor charge. Once the defender reaches 10 Vigor charges, they're consumed, and the defender gains a passive unblockable for 5 seconds. That really doesn't sound like that big of a deal. But then with this node, while the attacker is close to the defender gains a regeneration buff every 3 seconds, regenerating 0.5% of their max health each second. Staying far away from the defender causes these regeneration effects to fall off gradually. So this is definitely going to be an interesting meta. It's kind of hard to gauge how it's going to be just based off reading these nodes, because it sounds weird. Definitely sounds weird, but we'll have 2 weeks to really adapt and get used to it. So those are the changes coming for Season 9, guys. A lot of big changes you can expect. I'm going to be going hard in Season 9 because if these changes also carry over to Season 10, then I'm going to need to get as much practice as I can with these changes before we get into Season 10. Because that's when I need to place top 8. So, I'm going to be going hard for Season 9. Let me know what you guys think about these changes in the comment section down below. And just real quick again, to jump back in game, show you guys where I'm at. So, I'm at 485 points. This might be the highest amount of points I've ever been at. I think it is. I think it is, which is pretty cool. And so, we're currently 18th in Celestial 5. And you can just see, like, there's a lot of very good players around me. Got Bitter Steel right below. We got Dab and Andrew right above. There's Fintech, T Jarvis. And then if we look in Celestial 4, so the cutoff for Celestial 4 is 565. So it's like 80 points away. And I don't know. I think that's it. I think I'm done for this season. I like where I'm at. Think I'm just gonna chill, and I was debating playing more because I do want to practice more for Season 10, but I feel like the practice would just be much better served next season with these changes. I don't feel as much of a need to practice before these changes are in place, if that makes sense. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna chill here for the rest of the season. That'll secure us some nice rewards here. Celestial 5, we got 5,000 7-star shards, 3,500 6-star relic shards, and 80,000 trophy tokens. So, and the store should be updating in like 2 days. So we'll be making a BG store spending spree video. Keep an eye out for that. Right now I have 100k trophy tokens, so we're gonna be partying in the BG store. And yeah, I'm gonna wait until I get the battleground season rewards, and then I'm gonna open that up together with my Alliance War season rewards and have a big opening, do some big rank ups. So be on the lookout for those videos, guys. It's gonna be some fun content on the way. That's gonna do it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Drop a like for the info breakdown. Let me know what you guys think about all that in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out. Love y'all.